Hey, it's another episode. We're on the road. Today I want to talk about the state of the hobby. We're going to go to a special store called Port Cargo, and if we're lucky, we might get tacos. This could be interesting, so don't go away. Let's watch the show intro. I'll see you in about 30 seconds, and probably more than that, you'll see me in about 30 seconds. So I'm Mike, and this is My Car's Shop.
Working out of a 100-year-old refurbished barn, bringing 35 years of experience to projects considered beyond repair. Vision, creativity, and problem solving are essential tools in this place. Watch as we transform junk into polished metal miracles. This is My Car's Shop.
I suppose to some degree that it might be that I'm beating a dead horse, but on the other hand, if the horse won't move, you gotta move it somehow. So I suppose beating it would be a complete waste of time. But I did want to talk a little bit about a couple of things today. First of all, I wanted to talk about, I had hoped that this was going to be an episode in the 73 Swinger, but I'm having a couple of issues in that car. Mainly, I either have a dust shield rattling, and I don't think that's what it is, or the front pump on the transmission has developed a really bad whine, which I think is what it is, and that's not good. So before I got ready to leave, before I left home, I checked with my AAA to make sure that my road coverage was good, and somehow they never received my payment. So it's a good thing I checked, because I could have been stranded on the road with no road service. I really wanted to do that episode because I thought it would be an adventure, and if it broke down, it broke down. But on the other hand, with something that potentially catastrophic, I did not want to have to figure out how the heck I was going to get home when there's nobody that I can call. Everybody's working or busy and unavailable. Or then have to pay like a huge amount of money for a wrecker bill. And we just decided that we'll take the old Hemi and it'll be what it is. So I've got to sort all of that out, because I know we wrote the check, my company pays for it, and I remember it getting written, and I signed it, and it got mailed in, and they didn't receive it. So it's probably just a snafu, which is a situation normal, all fouled up. So all of that to say, we're in the truck. Sorry, it would have been a really fun thing to do the road trip in the Swinger today, but I'm not going that far. It's about 45 minutes to Port Cargo Tool Center, and oh, by the way, if you didn't do the interpretation, it's Port Cargo is Harbor Freight. Need to go there and get some tools and some stuff for working on the Oakland. And so we'll talk about that. I've got to pump some gas because the old Hemi is thirsty. So I'll be right back, and probably you won't even hardly know that I was gone. I'm back. Did you miss me? I don't have a pencil. I don't have anything to write on either. First of all, I was watching Muscle City Madness yesterday, and shout out to Ruben over there. He pointed out something that really resonated with me and struck me, just how lucky we are and how fortunate we are to be part of a group of just great channels. We're all small channels. Bad Tree Productions has kind of provided a little umbrella for all of us, and big shout out to them. They've got a great Facebook group that they allow all of us to do our thing with, and just a really, really great group of guys and gals that all have channels, like I said, except for Bad Tree, who's a little bigger than us, but small channels that we're all on the same page. You know, do we have dreams of seeing our channels grow? Of course, we're all working very diligently and hard at it. But what an incredible network. And I was thinking yesterday how awesome it will be when the world finally goes back to normal, whatever that is. And maybe we can like all gather as a group and have some kind of a collective thing. So I don't know, but you've got Ruben over there, like I said, at Muscle City Madness, and he's got some cool stuff going on with his Challenger and his Roadrunner. You got the guys at Bad Tree that are lots of drag racing episodes, and of course they have their Nacho Cuda, Jeremy's four-door dart, crew cab dart, whatever you want to call it, Blake's Duster, and now the truck that he's got. And I mean, there's more stuff, and I'm not going to get it all, nor am I going to be able to give a shout out to everybody. Of course, Duddy, whom I talk about all the time. I just really thoroughly enjoy his channel and the content that he puts out. And Johnny Mopar. There are a few others that I didn't plan anything. I never plan ahead. So if I omitted you, I'm sorry. I know there are more people in our group, and if I think about it long enough, I'm sure your names will come to me. So I'll give you a shout out later in the video.
Iron Horse Garage.
So part of my state of the hobby is talking about everybody has a contribution. I get vexed by so much of what I see on forums and chat groups, and you go the realm of, and I've ranted about this here before, where you go from the gamut of exclusivity to, everything has to be exactly numbers matching original Air in the Spare, to people like me who couldn't give two rats patooties, and we just build everything by hand. And of course, there are guys that are even more radical with that than I am. In many ways, I feel like it's the best of times and it's the worst of times. As far as information available, I think it's the best of times. With the internet, with the interweb, with all that we have at our fingertips, think about what you probably carry around in your pocket is probably more powerful than the first PC you ever owned. Cell phone, guys. It's incredible, the technology and the information that we have right at our fingertips. The problem is, with all the information in the world but no wisdom, which is the correct application of knowledge, we're the smartest idiots around sometimes. And I've talked about that before, as evidenced by how many times do we see somebody's having an electrical problem, the car starts and quits, sits for a while, starts again, and immediately you get 1,000 comments: ballast resistor, ballast resistor, ballast resistor. And it vexes me, but that's not the point of this. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. I suppose we could go to, you take the good, you take the bad, you take the rest, and there you have the facts of the hobby. And it's not just in the Mopar world, although of course that is where my main focus is. But it's all across. It's all across the spectrum of all makes and models, where we have all of this huge amount of information, but we're not teaching the younger generations how to do things. We're just telling them what to do. And again, that's not really the point of this episode, but it is part of the state of the hobby. So wanted to just mention that again. But really, the way we can share information makes it some of the best times in the hobby, because it is all about connection, and I think we've kind of floundered with connection for a while, where years ago it was all connection. It was all about who you knew in your local community that could help you out, and of course we all probably have those contacts. But now with the web at our disposal, we can connect with Ruben out in California, or Blake and Jabo and the guys out in Iowa, or Duddy down in Texas, or wherever. We can share information, and we can put these videos out, and we can share our experience, share our knowledge, share our mistakes, and we all learn from each other. And of course there are hundreds and hundreds and thousands of more YouTube channels out there that we can learn from. It's so easy to when the pandemic started, I was looking for what guys were doing on Challengers. I was looking particularly for rear end, rear frame who was doing it, and immediately Dylan McCool came up. Now Dylan's one of the big boys in the Mopar world as far as his channel. He's got hundreds of thousands of subscribers. Great guy. I mean, just great guy. Very knowledgeable, humble. He was one of the first ones that came up when it came to frame rail repair and sheet metal work on the back end of a Challenger. And I've followed him ever since. And I learned a lot from him. And he's a lot younger than I am. Just as one example. There's always something to learn, and we all have our favorite places to go to learn. But there's so much available. And I think that makes, in many ways, the state of the hobby exciting. Now, the downside of all of that is, like I said, with much information comes a lot of stupidity. That just goes with it, because if we don't disseminate that information correctly, we can go down some really, really dark, deep rabbit holes. And we can really get ourselves overwhelmed. So get good sources of information, and of course, get people around you that are encouraging, locally and in the interwebs. It's a great, really great community. I think the unfortunate thing with the state of the hobby now is we do have so much available to us, not only in information, but in parts. They're producing everything. I mean, I'm 99% sure that you could just about completely build a 67, 68, 69 Dodge Charger, 67, 68, 69, 8, 9, and 70. Anyway, those Chargers, I think you could build one, not the 67. You could build one pretty much from scratch like you could a Mustang. You could just order everything and build an entire car. The only thing lacking in the Charger may be the main roof structure, but I'm not even sure that's true. So we have a huge amount of resources, but I think the problem with having so much stuff available is it has stifled ingenuity. I'm old school, and quite frankly, I don't have much money, so part of the reason I build everything is because I can't afford to go out and buy all new parts. But on the other hand, I don't want to, because I enjoy building stuff. And I think some of that ingenuity is lost because there's just so much available, and it's easy to just swipe your card and buy whatever it is that you think you need to take your project to the next level. And that again contributes to some of the exclusivity of the numbers matching original air and the spare crowd. Why would you waste your time doing that? There's episodes on that here, so I'm not going to beat that dead horse either. So I think that really is the best of times, the worst of times. We have so much available that it's killing ingenuity and creativity. Yet there are a lot of guys who are thinking outside the box. If you've watched Vice Grip Garage at all, he's one of the big channels. He's approaching 1 million subs now. Watch the Independence Chevelle build. If you want to see a guy who thinks way outside the box and doesn't feel that he has to restore things 100% and make things shiny, and I'm sure everybody here knows who Derek is over at Vice Grip, but that Independence Chevelle build, I just watched that series again the other day, and it's in his playlists. As a little segue, actually, when he discovered the Independence Chevelle was the very first episode that I watched, and I watched about 5 minutes of it, and I'm like, what is this? This guy seems like kind of a bumpkin. And I shut it off, and it was only because of Brad, whom y'all know here from the channel, said that Vice Grip was one of his favorite channels, and I went back and found it. I just searched Vice Grip, and that episode came back up, so I finished it, and by the time I was done with that episode, I went, he's not a bumpkin. That guy knows his crap. He knows his stuff, and I've been hooked on that channel ever since. So, best of times, worst of times, there's so much available, and I love seeing the outside the box stuff, always keep things in context, keep things within your finances, keep things within your ability, but don't be afraid to be innovative either. So, all right, that's my thoughts on the state of the hobby. So we're got a little bit further to go to get to Port Cargo, and then we're going to get a few things for the Oakland project and a couple things for the shop, and then stay tuned because we got tacos coming really soon. Bay City is an interesting little city here in mid-Michigan. Always felt in past years that Bay City was a town that didn't really know its identity. It had a great history, and there's a lot of things here that someday when we get one of the cars out, I want to kind of take you around and show you some of the stuff like the Battleship Museum and some of the old lumber baron homes and things like that. But it's really been going through a lot of revitalization in the last few years, and it's been kind of exciting. We actually moved one of our office locations from Midland, Michigan, which is about 15 miles west of here. About 3 years ago, I think, we moved that Midland office to Bay City because we could start seeing the progressiveness of the business community and the growth that was happening here. And it's a cool little city. So little segue into the area, but kind of just thought I'd share a little bit about some of the stuff around here. Harbor Freight is within sight. I can see it right up there on the left, so we'll be pulling in there momentarily. The store's not been here terribly long. And I like this one better than the other one that's located in Saginaw. This one just seems to have a little better inventory and stuff. And it looks like we got a wave heading at us. I better hurry. There we go. Okay, so one of the first things we need is some solder, and I also want to get some alligator clips because I'm not finding them, but yeah, there they are right there. So yeah, I lost some of my alligator clips, and I thought it'd be a good idea to pick up some new ones. So we'll get some of those while we're here. These will be perfect. Everything I need. I can build all my own jumper leads that way, so we'll go with those. All right, so the next thing we need is some bar solder for soldering into the screens in the oil pan. So I got to try to find out where that stuff is here. I'm a little bit puzzled. I have to ask somebody. Not typical guy. I have to ask for directions. Okay, it was right where I was apparently, and I just didn't see it. So we shall look again. Oh yeah. Well, what do you know about that? Okay, we'll have to do some digging here and see what I come up with, but I can't look at that and talk to you, so I'll be back. Well, this was a little more than I wanted to buy, but I guess it'll work. Hopefully you can see that. I want to be able to solder that screen in the pan. Can't use a regular propane torch because every time you tip it up to solder it, then it puts the liquid up to the top of the propane tank and causes it to flame out. So this should work better for that. But I'm not finding the solder. It looks like maybe they're out. That's not good. All right, got to dig more. Well, I think we're out of luck. They don't have any solder. So I got to scratch my head and figure out where else we can go in town here to get some. I was hoping to get that project done tomorrow, but maybe we'll have to order it online. So, all right, on to the next thing. Well, I thought we were going to go and save big money at Menards, but they don't have any. So we're going to go to the local Tractor Supply. I think they have a Forney 50/50 lead tin solder spool. It's probably have to mortgage my house 3 times, but I think that's going to be our best option here. So we'll be over there in just a few minutes. Okay, we're in Tractor Supply. Now I gotta find it. I know where it is in our Tractor Supply at home, but I don't know where their stuff is here. It's probably right here. There it is. Okay, let's see here. Probably that. We don't want silver solder. Well, they had it on their website. I'm not seeing it here. I want the 50/50 acid core solder. Wait a minute, is this? That's lead free. Well, drop my pants and spank my butt. They said on the line they had it. I guess I better get on the webs and see what's going on. I guess a person needs to read things more carefully. It was ordered into the store, not on the store. So I guess we're SOL. We're gonna have to order it online, and that'll do it. So on to the next thing. Well, the main thing was, I guess I got the torch. That was the thing that mattered. So get rid of my face diaper, and I'm gonna give up on this, and we're just gonna go on and get some tacos. And just a note for the viewers, don't slam the door on your foot. It hurts. Ouch. Well, I was trying to do the expeditious thing and order ahead, and they don't have a voicemail and they didn't answer their phone. So either they're not open or they're really busy. So we'll find out. We're going to TACOS. It's a place that, from what I understand, is fairly new here in Bay City. So I don't know, never been there. I hear good things, so if that's the place that I hear about. So we'll be there in just a few minutes. Just relax. Don't get starving on me. You'll get your taco. It's good. Don't have a hissy fit. It'll be all right. Definitely noontime now in the city. Traffic is a little bit heavier than it was earlier. Not that any of you would probably consider this to be much of a city, but 40,000 people plus the people that come in from the outlying areas can cause a little bit of traffic congestion, more than you find in Fairgrove at least. So, you know, we're actually on the outskirt edge of the southwest corner of Bay City right now. So we've pretty much hit the four corners of this city on this video today. But I was going to say anyway, the irony of where this Mexican restaurant, taqueria, whatever you want to call it, is, it's in Polish Town. So I guess that makes sense. There's a really good Polish restaurant here. This is just kind of typical of older style cities where you have different ethnic groupings in the city. This is Polish Town that we're coming into, and yeah, so that's where I would look for a Mexican restaurant. I'm sure you would too. Forgot there was an old school hardware store here. I just drove by, came back around to see if they happen to have real lead solder. So they have a nice selection of stuff here. We'll see if they have what we're looking for. Yep, right there. 50/50. That's a little bit small. Nope, that's lead free. Dang it. Gotta have lead in it. There we go. 40% tin, 60% lead. Acid core. If I can't get... Oh, there's solid wire solder there. That's 50/50. Holy cadiners. Stuff isn't cheap, is it? Gotta have it. Doesn't matter. Well, I have to admit, they weren't lying. Gilroy's got it. I've never been in there before. They say they're Michigan's #1 hardware. It's a do it best, but they had what I needed. So that's what matters. That's the most important thing. All right, segue over, interlude over. Let's get on to our tacos. All right, we are definitely in the heart of Polish Town. And the taco place is right up here on the right somewhere in 1,000 feet. I've been to that meat market. Really good meat. I think I better get over. Don't see it. Been to that meat shop. I think it's up there. I think I'll park here and we'll just walk. Okay, I think it's up here on the corner now that I think about it. I probably could have parked right in front of it, but I haven't seen it for a while, so just being not safe, but I guess It's a little bit weird parking and stuff around here. So, yeah, there it is right there. Okay, cool. We got our tacos, and we'll probably go sit in the truck and check it out and see how it is. I'm hungry. It's pushing 1 o'clock, so I think we accomplished our mission today, and that's good. And so I will say, if you're in Bay City, Michigan, in Polish Town, and you're looking for tacos, go to Zaka Tacos. You can tell them that I sent you. Won't mean anything, but you can tell them anyway. They look delicious. They also look a bit messy. And I did get the Diablo salsa. So I think what we're going to do is we're going to go home, and I'll keep them warm. And we'll go home and we'll have them there where we can make a big mess and it won't matter, because I kind of have a thing about making a mess in my truck. I really don't want to do that. Last taco episode that we did on the taco challenge, we had to drive 30 miles to the east to get our tacos. Well, in this case, it's darn close to 30 miles west to get tacos today. So it's no place close to where I live, because I live in Nowheresville, but I think these might be pretty good tacos. It's carne asada, just onions and cilantro, and the Diablo sauce. So we'll see how they go. But such is life when you live in Michigan, because it's just not food truck capital where I live. I'm quite sure in the metro area that's different, but where we are, it's the way it is. So I'm going to just get my rear end home and get in the air conditioning in the house, because it's pushing 90 degrees today and the humidity's high. And for those of you that live in Texas and Arizona and California, you'll think that that is very cold, but for those of us in the northern climes, it's hot. So I was thinking about eating in the campground. We have a campground at the back of our property, but I don't want to be out in this today, so see you at home. One thing I didn't point out is they did give me several containers of the salsa, but what I didn't point out was they also gave me a bag of their in-store made chips. So I can do this while we're driving. Ooh, that's quite the salsa. Take a look at that. It's different. Kind of gets you in the back of the throat a little bit. I can't place the flavor. It's not terribly hot. Well, I guess it is getting me in the back of the throat a little bit. It's different. I like it. I like it a lot. But it wouldn't be a salsa that I would think I would like. So I bet it's going to taste really, really good on the taco. Okay, it's time to dig in. I'm thinking there may be some different salsas here. I'm not sure. That's definitely different than the stuff that I had in the car. Yes, I can see this is like a orangier, so. Yeah, these two are the same. I'm not sure what that is. That's more of a traditional salsa than this other. A lot more cilantro in it. So this must be their hot sauce. Bring this up here and let you look at it. Hopefully you can see that. Nice salsa. Tacos are still nice and warm. Put a little of this Rojo sauce or whatever it is on there. It did come with a Coke, and I will drink it, but I much prefer my real sugar Pepsi, so I have that. And of course, you know me, I have my hot mess sauce too, so if it's not hot enough, we'll add a hot mess to it. So let's check it out. Amazing flavor, very good. I didn't include any napkins. That salsa, or that hot sauce it's not hot, but it's good. Delicioso. I'm probably going to need anti-rejection drugs in my body. Drinking both a Coke and a Pepsi, I'm not sure that's a good thing, but yeah, it's very delicious. Nice flavor. I would prefer it a little bit hotter, but very good. All right. That's going to do it for this episode. Thanks for watching. Thanks for going along on my adventures today. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please do that. Hit like on the video, make a comment. Make sure you hit the bell on the channel so you receive notifications when new episodes come out. We're putting out new episodes every Tuesday, Friday, and Sunday, so you're not going to want to miss that. We're on Facebook and Instagram /MyCarShop. And one more thing, don't forget. Tacos! Rockos!